Hey everybody, it is the beginning of the school year and my feed is full of back to school pictures, and if you know anything about me, you know that I love a fresh start and basically any time to be introspective and self-reflective. But the beginning of a school year is really a great time to think about what your hopes and dreams are for this school year and what rules you want to put in place to make sure that happens, whether you're a family or a classroom. So I want to share with you something that I learned from Responsive Classroom about sharing your hopes and dreams and creating rules together. And then at the end, I have an original song to share with you about it. So here we go. Again, this is from training with Responsive Classroom. And I didn't make up the how to do the rules, but here's how it goes. You have a class meeting and think about your hopes and dreams for the year, what you hope to accomplish, and then ask the students, if these are all our hopes and dreams, we'll need some rules to make sure that we achieve our hopes and dreams. So what kinds of rules do we want in our classroom that will help this be a place where we can achieve our hopes and dreams? And if you're in a family, you could do this with your family too. You could say, this is a good time for us to review and revise our family house rules. What kinds of rules do you think we need uh, to make this school year a success and so that we can all achieve our hopes and dreams? So I'm not doing the hopes and dreams lesson, it's a whole other lesson, but I really want to share this part of it with you. So you take their ideas, and the thing that makes these rules so powerful and helps the children feel empowered is that it comes from them. The rules are not from a dictator putting these rules down on them, but rather it's a much more democratic way of forming the rules. The children suggest the rules, and you can help them shape them, and I'll show you how in a minute. But it's theirs; they own it. So you get that buy-in. So if you ask young children, what rules do you think we will need? You're going to get a lot of no's to start. They're going to say no hitting, and they'll probably say, oops, my stickies aren't sticking. They'll probably say no running, or they might say, and you can write them down after they say it. I just have these ready so that this lesson doesn't take too long. No breaking. Let's not break anything. Let's no breaking things, or no spilling, or no screaming. So take a bunch of those no rules, and then when someone gives a rule that's not a no rule, that's a positive rule, something to do, not something not to do, notice it and say, I love the way you said that in a positive way, what we're supposed to do and not what we're not supposed to do. Let's look at some of these no rules, some of these things we're not supposed to do, and see if we can turn them into things we are supposed to do. So, no running, that's a good rule. We don't want to run in the classroom. What do we want to do in the classroom? How do we want to move in the classroom? And they might say, move carefully, or use walking feet. And if you get both of those, use both of them. If you just get one, use one. If you get something else, use another. And if they're not thinking of it, you could say, how should we move our feet? Should we stomp our feet? Maybe they'll say use quiet feet, or use quiet walking feet. Use the words of the children, whatever they are. And then we don't want to break anything. How are we going to not break anything? So maybe then they'll say move carefully, or maybe they'll say try your best. Or maybe if you say, well, we all want to make sure that we're doing good work here. What if you're just sitting there? If somebody says, don't just sit there, what could you say? Try your best, something like that, right? What about this no hitting rule? How can we say what we should do? What can we do with our hands? What's a good rule? for our hands and bodies. And they might say, move carefully. They might say, hands are for helping. They might say, keep your hands to yourself. Whatever they say, take their words. And what about this no screaming? How can we say what we should do? And maybe they'll say whisper because they'll think they should say the opposite. And you could say, well, sometimes we do have to whisper when we turn and talk to a partner in circle and we don't want to disturb other people, or if we're working in small groups. But sometimes if we're at morning meeting, if I'm whispering, you're not going to be able to hear me very well. How can you make sure that you hear me better? Well, we listen to each other, right? Or we could say screaming's not okay because here we use inside voices. So help the children shape these rules into language that is positive and appropriate and expectations that can be met. And then you can say, you know, some of these things go together. Some of these things are similar. I feel like some of these things are about things you do for yourself, and some of them are about the way we relate to each other, and some of them are about the way we relate to things in the classroom. What can you think of a bigger rule that can cover all of these? And take a few suggestions. They might say in a partner teacher's classroom, they decided use lovely treatment was the rule. I love that. That's beautiful child language. Use lovely treatment. Or they might say do good or be kind or something positive. Or, and encourage them to find a bigger positive rule that covers a lot of other rules. And then you can help them realize that really we can break up all of our rules into 3 rules. Okay? And I'm going to use the words be peaceful, but you can use lovely treatment, you can use be kind, whatever comes from the students. So the 3 rules would be peaceful, with yourself. Oh goodness, that's a big glare. Maybe I'll do this on the chalkboard so you can see it better. I think you'll be able to see better on this side. So be peaceful with yourself. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. Be peaceful. Be peaceful with our things. And be peaceful with each other. Okay, and use the children's language. So this might say, use lovely treatment with yourself, use lovely treatment with our things, and use lovely treatment with each other. It might say, be kind to yourself, be kind with our things, and be kind with each other. So use whatever language comes from the children that you're working with, and then you can take all of these rules and put them in the right places. So we have try your best. What do you think that goes with? And it goes with Be peaceful with yourself. Yep, I agree. Use quiet walking feet. Well, that's so we don't disturb the people around us. So that's really each other. Move carefully. Well, that's really all of it. We could put move carefully on be peaceful with ourselves so that you don't bump into anything and hurt yourself. Move carefully so that you can be peaceful with our things so that you don't bump into anything and break it. You can put move carefully on be peaceful with each other so that we don't bump into our friends and hurt them. So I might need 3 of them. So please pretend I have one in every place. Listen to each other. That would go on be peaceful with each other. Use inside voices. That probably is mostly be peaceful with each other, but also so you don't disturb your own thoughts. You don't hurt your voice. Keep your hands to yourself. So put them where they belong, and then you can sing a song, and I'll share my song with you. And again, this song can be adapted to use the language of your students, but I'm going to use be peaceful. Be peaceful with our things. Be peaceful with each other. Be peaceful with yourselves. Let's have a peaceful day. Our classroom is peaceful. This is our peaceful classroom. Our classroom is peaceful. Let's have a peaceful day. Or if you are using use lovely treatment, use lovely treatment with our things. Use lovely treatment with each other. Use lovely treatment with yourselves. Let's have a peaceful day. Our classroom is peaceful. This is our peaceful classroom. Our classroom is peaceful. Let's have a peaceful day. And something I forgot to mention is when you're getting all the many positive rules, some language you might want to use is to say, this is a lot of rules to remember. I wonder if we can put some of these rules together so that we have just a few rules to remember that cover everything. And so this way you only have 3 rules to remember. If anyone's breaking a rule, you know it's one of those 3 rules. And you can do it with your family too. You could say our family is peaceful. Same rules. Be peaceful with our things. Be peaceful with each other. Be peaceful with yourselves. Let's have a peaceful day. Our family is peaceful. This is our peaceful family. Our family is peaceful. Let's have a peaceful day. I hope that you have a peaceful day. I hope you have a peaceful year. And I'd love to hear your ideas about making rules with children. And if you found this song helpful at all, and if you know any other good ones, let me know. Have a great day, guys. I love you. Keep singing.